Hey, welcome back to KMMA. I'm Andy O,
And I'm Khalil Deal.
and we are here to bring you the main card portion of UFC 310 Pantoja against Asakura. Starting off with my boy Nate Landwehr against Do Hoo Choi.
Nate the Train.
Nate the Train, ah! Then we got Bryce Mitchell against Kron Gracie. We got Cyril Gann against Alexander Volkov. Then it's Shavkat Rakhmonov against Ian Machado Gary in a 5-rounder for the co-main event. And for the UFC Flyweight Championship, we got Alexander Pantoja against Kai Asakura. So for this fight here, Real Deal, who do you got between Nate the Train and Do Ho Choi?
All right, let's get into it here. All right, so Nate Landwehr against Doo Ho Choi are early predictions here for this main card, and I've got to go with Nate the Train, baby. Nate the Train is the pick, man. Come on, Nate the Train he's a savage, man. This guy goes out there and fights for your money. He will put it all on the line. He is a dog. He goes out there and puts the pressure. He's very well rounded. He's got very good punches, very good striker. He can get you on the ground. He can grapple if he needs to. He's got submissions. We've seen him submit Austin Lingo with a rear naked choke. We've seen him knock out Jamal Emmers, so he could do it all. He has to be careful with Doo Ho Choi's power, though, because the Korean Superboy, this guy does have some power in his hands. We saw the power in his hands when he knocked out Bill Algeo in his last fight. But, I mean, Doo Ho Choi has been also getting finished. Charles Jourdain knocked him out. Jeremy Stevens knocked him out. So he's easily able to be knocked out. So I think Nate Landwehr can knock him out as well. Doo Ho Choi, he was looking like ultimate shit in his last 5 fights. The first 3 fights he lost. A loss to Cub Swanson. This was back in 2016. So he hasn't even fought that much. And then he lost to Jeremy Stevens, lost to Charles Jourdain, like I said, the draw against Kyle Nelson. That was a year and 9 months ago. And then finally that knockout to Bill Algeo. So
I predicted that knockout.
Yeah, I mean, he only fought from 2016 to 2024. He only fought 5 times. That's absolutely insane. I got to go with Nate Landwehr, man. He's just a more proven fighter, man. He's just fought really good fighters, man, like Ludovic Klein, David Onama, Austin Lingo, Jamal Emmers, Dan Ige. I mean, he's beating these guys, man. You know, he did lose to Dan Ige. It was a unanimous decision, but he was beating everybody else that I just mentioned. He even subbed Ludovic Klein, and Ludovic Klein's a fucking badass. So I got to go with Nate Landwehr, man. I see him finishing Doo Ho Choi by knockout or submission. How about you?
Yeah, I got to go with Nate Landwehr here. Thing with this fight here is that Nate Landwehr wants an ugly, dirty fight, and Doo Ho Choi wants a nice, clean fight. And I don't think Nate Landwehr is going to let that happen unless Doo Ho Choi knocks him out early on. Because that's the one thing about Nate Landwehr. Guys have a tendency to rock him or knock him out early in the fight hard. But if that doesn't happen, I think Nate Landwehr is just going to walk through this guy's shots and just pour it on him, man. Get him up against the cage. Maybe even take him down. I think Nate the Train's going to want to win here. It's always great to have Nate the Train on a pay-per-view. It's a whole lot better than having Mickey Gall on every pay-per-view, let me tell you that. Nate the Train, man, also is striking in that clinch, really close range, man. He can surprise you in there and mess you up. So I'm going to go with Nate the Train by knockout or decision.
Nice. We're in agreement with this one here. Nate the Train's got good knees too, good elbows, punches. He does everything, man. So yeah, I see him finishing Doo Ho Choi.
And he's the dog, like a real dog too.
Absolutely, man. Fights for your money and everything. So, all right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Bryce Mitchell against Kron Gracie. This is another 1-800-GAMBLER fucking fight here, man.
That's why.
Is it my turn or yours?
Me, but
Go for it.
I'm gonna have to go with Bryce Mitchell here. I think his striking's just way better than Cron Gracie. Cron Gracie's been known to get down onto the ground by himself and stay there for the round if he could to like bait you in. And I don't think Bryce Mitchell is gonna look. I think he's gonna hurt him on the feet. He's gonna be opportunistic with his takedowns, Bryce Mitchell. But there's one thing I worry about in this fight with Bryce Mitchell is that he may hop into something because he doesn't have the highest IQ, right, Bryce Mitchell? He may just hop into Cron Gracie somewhere, maybe to like prove a point, to be like, well, I'm going to get into this position and I'm going to see if you can do something with that and end up getting subbed, right? That's the only way I can see Cron Gracie winning. Other than that, he's not really very active, Cron Gracie. I think he's only in there because of his name value and his like lineage. But yeah, I got to go with Bryce Mitchell. I don't think Cron Gracie has any chance to knock him out. So yeah, give me Bryce Mitchell by decision or knockout.
Yeah, man, this fight's 1-800 Gambler. This is a horrible fight. This is one of these fights where you can actually go and get a smoke break, go get some popcorn. If you got, go get a drink. Nobody gives really a rat's ass about this fight, to be honest with you. Cron Gracie is horrible to watch. It's atrocious, his fighting style. He has no striking at all. A little puppy could strike better than this guy. The guy, all he really has is submissions. All 5 of his wins are by submission. I wouldn't be surprised that, I'd love to see the value for the Cron Gracie sub. I mean, it might end up one of Andy O's pearls here. If the value is high enough for Cron Gracie by submission, I'd like to see that because Bryce, like you said, Bryce Mitchell could fall into one of Cron Gracie's subs if he decides to be dumb and try to go on the ground against Cron Gracie.
Well, you know what? It's not even that. You remember Charles Jourdain went to the ground with him all kinds and just stayed really safe in the right position. So it's about kind of being dumb enough to put yourself where you shouldn't be in this case, right?
Yeah. I mean, Cron Gracie the guy is a submission specialist. But that's all he knows how to do. He's the type of guy that'll roll on the ground, try to grab your leg and get you in a leg bar. He'll do some crazy things like that. Try to fucking try to latch in a guillotine. Try to get on your back. He'll try to do anything he can to get you to the ground. Bryce Mitchell, in his own right, is also very decent at submissions.
Yeah.
I don't want him playing around on the ground. I want him to stay on his feet here because obviously he's the better striker. But I mean, let's not sneeze on Bryce Mitchell. The guy does have 9 submissions out of his 16 wins. So the guy can sub as well. He's got very good jiu-jitsu as well. But I just don't want to see a jiu-jitsu battle between these two because Cron Gracie could pull it off. If this fight stays standing, Bryce Mitchell 1,000%. He's going to be, I mean, these guys are the same size too. I like that he's 6 years younger though, Bryce Mitchell. Cron Gracie's getting up there in age at 36. He also tends to be very, very slow in the cage. Cron Gracie's super slow. He lost to Cub Swanson and Charles Jourdain by unanimous decision, both guys, because basically Cron Gracie didn't do anything. He has zero output. He doesn't do nothing. If he doesn't get a submission, I think he had like a ridiculously low number of strikes in that fight against Charles Jourdain. I think it was like under 10 strikes, something ridiculous in the entire fight. Like, it's crazy, man. So Bryce Mitchell for sure, by decision or knockout. I think maybe he fucking cracks him or something, and maybe gets a knockout or wins a decision here. But he's got to be careful for Cron Gracie's submissions though. So we're both in agreement with Bryce Mitchell. Shitty ass fight though. Let's move on up to the next one. We got Cyril Gane against Alexander Volkov here. This one here, I got to go with Cyril Gane, man. These guys fought before.
Yeah.
Cyril Gane beat him. I don't think much is going to change here. We got Cyril Gane 2 years younger. Volkov is not bad, but Cyril Gane is just a much more polished fighter. The guy's got very good leg kicks. This is going to be a very good fight because, both of these guys are going to be kicking the shit out of each other's legs. Volkov, too, has some good leg kicks. I just feel like Cyril Gane's got more power in his hands. I think he lands the more powerful punches on Volkov. We've seen Volkov have some problems when it comes to guys who have power, and I think this is where Cyril Gane could definitely knock him out. I like Cyril Gane to win by knockout here. I think he flatlines him somehow, lands a crazy punch or something, or wins by decision. I mean. Volkov, he's kind of feeling himself since he got that last win against Pavlovich, but Pavlovich looked horrible in that fight, man. I couldn't
Something
even,
was off about that fight.
yeah, and I couldn't even believe that it went to decision, that fight. I thought that somebody was going to finish somebody. But I mean, look, he does have some power too, Volkov. Cyril Gane's going to have to be careful not to get cracked there. As long as he fights a smart fight, maybe tries to get some takedowns or two, I think Cyril Gane could take down Volkov, use some of his wrestling that he has. And get the win by decision. I think he does more. I think he puts more output than Volkov. I think he's going to be faster than Volkov, quicker on the feet, moves around better. He's going to be better defensively too. Yeah, I like Cyril Gane in this one. I think it's a good matchup for him. I think he's going to get the knockout or decision.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be about in this fight. It's going to be about Cyril Gane's far better movement. He's way faster. And don't forget the bigger cage this time. So he's going to use that to his advantage. They both don't really have that ultra knockout power. So I see Cyril Gane just moving around a lot and just getting a more accumulation of shots. I see him going for a takedown if he gets kind of hurt by Volkov, and he has to. If it's not for that, I don't think Gane's going to be going out of his way to look for a takedown. But I think he's better on the ground than Volkov is. So I think this is going to be a pretty decent kickboxing fight. Volkov, though, I think he's like lumbering compared to Gane. Like Gane seems a lot more athletic, which with the way he moves, and as you mentioned, pretty good defensively also. And let's not forget, Volkov has taken a lot of damage in his career. He has a lot of fights, like already, and it's kind of surprising he's still as young as he is. So yeah, give me Gane by decision.
I got to use one of your lines too, man. The guy's 38-10. Those 10 losses come from somewhere. He's not. I mean, and the quality of fighters too that he's fought. I like who Gane has fought lately. We're talking Derek Lewis, where he actually knocked out Derek Lewis. Francis Ngannou, Taito Ivesa, John Jones, Sergey Spivak. So he's fought some top guys there, and he's also kind of been up and down with a win, a loss, a win, a loss, a win. So I hope he gets on a winning streak here, and represents France here. I think he's going to come in here and do a good job here and get the win on Volkov. Volkov is very, very slow too, and he takes a while to get going too in the early rounds. So I could see Cyril Gane piecing him up in the early rounds, winning rounds 1 and 2. Maybe Volkov coming back in the third round, getting some damage maybe, but it'll be a little too late. So I think Gane can win by decision here, or maybe even land a hard punch on Volkov and knock him out. All right, we're in agreement with all of the fights so far in the main card. Let's move on up to this next one here. We got Shavkat Rakhmonov against Ian Machado Gary.
Yeah.
Now, Machado Gary is going to make it for me on the dog list, that's for sure. He's going to make the dog list. I mean, we have him at dog odds here, and Machado Ian Gary is no slouch here, but Shavkat Rakhmonov is the pick for me. Just way, way, way better of a fighter. I mean, this guy, he's amazing, man. He comes in there and he has skills everywhere, whether it be grappling, jiu-jitsu, submissions, wrestling. He punches hard. He's got good boxing, good striking. He's powerful. He's relentless. I think he's going to be too much for Gary. I think he's going to fucking put on a pace that Gary's not going to like. He's going to move forward, have Ian Gary going on his back, going backwards. And Ian Gary's the type of guy that needs to be going forward in fights.
Thing about Gary, he's good off his back foot too, though.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I mean, but the thing is that Shavkat doesn't waste no time. Eh? He comes at you and he comes at you quickly. Right away, he'll get you against the cage and right away try to drag you down to the ground. This guy is trained with so many good fighters at MMA Factory. Not MMA Factory, sorry. Where is he fighting again there? Dar Pro Team Kazakhstan there. He's fighting with all of these wrestlers and stuff. These guys are absolutely insane. When these guys are training there, it's nothing but grappling that these guys do. So I like Rakhmonov to get the win here by KO or submission. I think he finishes Ian Gary. I think he gets him on the ground and subs him or gets a ground and pound. Who do you got here?
This is a fight where we're going to see if Shavkat is a finish or be finished fighter, maybe, eh?
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy's got, come on. I mean, the guy's got fucking 18 wins, 18-0, and we saw what he's done in the UFC. He's finished everybody.
Look, I think this fight is going to be a lot closer than people think. I think Shavkat has been training outside of his little place in Kazakhstan there because, in fact, he trained with Machado Gary too somewhere, and I think Shavkat got the best of Machado Gary when they did train together and sparred. But I think this fight is going to be a lot closer than people think. I think Ian Machado Gary is going to have that big cage to his advantage because he's going to be able to use that space, and he's going to recognize that Shavkat is going to come after him, so he's going to know that. And he has great range management. Even though his reach isn't spectacular, he just knows how to manage the range well. Also, people are forgetting about Gary that he came up as a grappler, right? So, he's a black belt in BJJ also. He knows how to grapple. And this may cause Shavkat problems when it comes to taking him down. Shavkat only has 30% takedown average, gets close to 2 a fight though. But with all that being said, I think Shavkat is probably gonna hurt him with more hurtful shots, unorthodox shots, maybe some elbows coming at odd angles, and just hurt Gary more overall in the fight. I think there's a very good chance this fight goes to decision. It's weird for me to think that Shavkat may win a decision and not finish him, but then again, he may finish him off maybe in the 3rd round or 4th. I think it's going to be a very close fight. I'm going to have to give the nod to Shavkat until he doesn't get the finishes, though, with Shavkat. I give props to Gary for taking this fight. I don't think there was anybody that was willing to face Shavkat here. I love the fact that they're 2 young guys, man, two like undefeated fighters. Someone who's got to go. Can't wait for this fight. I kind of even want Gary to win, but I'm going to have to lean with Shavkat. But we'll talk about the betting on Friday as always.
Let's be honest here too, and I heard you talking about the reach here. Don't forget that Rakhmonov is the one with the reach advantage here. He's going to have the 3-inch reach advantage.
That's true, but Shavkat's going to be the one coming at him. It's Gary that's going to try to make use of the range and the reach, not Shavkat, right? So
let's also be honest here with ourselves here. Who has Ian Gary really fought?
He's fought just as many people as Shavkat, actually.
I just want to see the quality, though. We're looking at Song Kenan. We're looking at Daniel Rodriguez, a washed-up Daniel Rodriguez. Neil Magny was no match for Ian Gary there. Jeff Neal is a decent fighter there, and Michael Venom Page. I think the quality of fighters I like better with Shavkat Rakhmonov. We're talking about guys like Carlston Harris. We're talking about guys like also Neil Magny, same guy. Jeff Neal. So pretty much, they fought the same guy.
The same guy.
Wonder Boy Thompson, though. Wonder Boy Thompson, that last fight.
A washed up Wonder Boy.
They both fought I guess they both fought, you're right. I guess they both fought pretty much the same caliber of fighters there.
Look, this is the first time they're going to be fighting the best guy, real skilled guy. Really, you got to say, this is their best opposition so far.
But hey, Neil Magny goes to a decision with Ian Gary. Jeff Neal goes to a decision with Ian Gary. But what does Rakhmonov do with these same guys? Submits Neil Magny and submits Jeff Neal. So I know the MMA math. I don't want to use it very much, but I'm just saying that Rakhmonov is just more of a finisher. The guy goes out there, and I think he has more skills, especially in the jiu-jitsu area there. I think he's got better submissions. I think he's stronger than Ian Gary. That's just my opinion. It's going to be a close fight. I do think Like I said, to get Gary at dog odds, he's going to be on the dog list for the betting. But I got Rachmanov winning this one, and I think he finishes Ian Gary. He catches Ian Gary, gets him on the ground, club and sub, and that's it. All right, so we're still in agreement
Yeah.
with the fight here. Let's get to the main event of the evening. We got Alexander Pantoja against Kai Asakura. Who you got, NDO?
Okay, I got to stick with Alexandra Pantoja here. I don't think Kai Asakura's striking is going to overcome the grappling and the backyard brawling style that Alexandra Pantoja has. Everybody thinks that these strikers are going to be Pantoja, but Pantoja ends up out grappling them. Also, Pantoja has decent power. I know a lot of his striking comes from people fearing his takedowns, but sometimes they're not even typical takedowns. They're like he's off balance and he tries to grab at you when he's going down and you get off balance, and the overall chaos like he likes. That's what Pantoja is going to bring to this fight. And Kai Asakura, he's going to bring superior striking, better technical striking. I think he's going to be faster than Pantoja overall, but I don't think he's as much of a dog as Pantoja is. And I think Pantoja is going to be stronger. And I think Pantoja is going to find that sub relentlessly at some point. So keep it rolling for Pantoja by sub.
The only okay, so yeah, I mean, definitely.
Oh, sorry, I want to add one thing. I did see on Instagram, I think Asakura was in the gym really working on his takedown defense. But Pantoja, sometimes he gets you down in awkward ways. Not
Yeah.
standard takedown style. Yeah.
Look, by no stretch of the imagination is Kai Asakura any kind of a bum here. This guy is not a bum. Okay, this guy is a bantamweight championship in the Ryzen Federation, Fighting Federation, and also was a champion in Road Fighting Championship. So in RFC and in RFF, this guy has been a champion there. He's ranked as the number 25 bantamweight in the world. So I mean, the guy is really good. He's fought in all over the place. And this guy here, the thing that I'm a little worried about is that he is originally a bantamweight. So he is going to be bigger than Alexander Pantoja. He's going to be looking bigger and weighing more than him. And also he's got a lot of power in his hands. This guy, out of his 25 fights, he's got 21 wins, 13 of them by knockout, and he's got 3 submissions and 5 decisions. So the guy's got knockout power in his hands. But yeah, obviously, I got to go with Pantoja. This is a huge step up in competition for Kai Asakura. He's never fought anybody of this kind of caliber here. Obviously, Pantoja's also a champion. And he's going to have the grappling advantage big time. I mean, Pantoja's grappling and wrestling is just absolutely amazing. He's also relentless with takedowns, relentless.
Yeah. Pantoja is also bitter. He has that chip on his shoulder, and sometimes that helps. And I still think he has the drive and the desire to win.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that win against Steve Erceg, he made him look horrible in that last fight. Pieced him up. Took him down, had his way with Steve Erceg, man. Steve Erceg looked horrible in that fight. Don't forget, he fought amazing fighters like Brandon Royval, beating him up. Brandon Moreno, the guy has fought the best of the best in the division. Alex Perez, and getting submissions on these guys and finishing a lot of these guys. So I definitely got to see. I can't wait to see this fight, but I definitely see Alexander Pantoja winning by submission. I think he takes him down and just gets his back, latches in, his famous body triangle there, and gets a rear naked choke. That's how I see this fight going down. I see him taking down Kai Asakura. He's a good striker too, Pantoja, man. He can also bang it out on the feet.
Yeah, and he does have power too. Like he can hurt you with shots also.
Definitely. And I see him maybe landing a few punches, changing levels, taking him down. Kai Asakura tries to get back up. As he pushes himself up off the floor, Pantoja swings around, grabs his back, gets the body triangle, rear stroke, gets the submission. That's how I see him winning this one. So I got Pantoja as well, winning by submission in this one. Awesome card for UFC 310. Guys,
And yeah, everyone, if you can't wait to see Nate the Train Landwehr on the fight, hit that like and subscribe.
And guys, man, don't forget, man, me and NDO, we started this in UFC 300. We are now at UFC 310, man. We have been putting in the work. Please subscribe, support the channel. We're working hard for you guys. We want to get to 50 subs before the end of the year. So if you guys haven't subscribed already, smash on that sub button. Let's get it. Let's make some money. Enjoy the event, folks. Stay tuned on Friday for our bets and our final predictions.
MMA, baby.
Peace out.